Sportsbooks are out to get you, and I'm not being hyperbolic when I say that. They promote the bets they want you to take, they hide the ones they don't, and they'll offer bad odds knowing that the majority of bettors are never going to know the difference, even if it smacked them across the face. And worse than anything, they actively track and monitor the behavior of every single user on their platforms. And if they deem that behavior favorable, they'll actively let you bet whatever you want for however much you want because they know you're going to print money for them. Look, you could win a 10-leg parlay with 60-1 odds, and 99% of the time, that's not going to faze the sportsbooks even a little bit. They're not going to be afraid of your action. As a matter of fact, they'll invite it and roll out the red carpet next time you open up the app. And that's because nearly everybody making those types of bets is taking exactly what the sportsbooks want them to. A lot of overs, same game parlays, but more than anything, they're ignoring the single most important determining factor in whether or not they're going to be a winning or losing bettor long term. See, the truth is that the sportsbook's decision on whether or not they want you as a customer has almost nothing to do with whether you win or lose. Think about what I just said. They don't actually care if your bets win or lose because that's not how they classify you as a good or bad customer. This right here is how the books classify you as a winner or a loser. And if you don't know what you're looking at, I can guarantee you with 100% certainty that the books have already marked you off as a loser for yourself and a winner for them. You're looking at closing line value, or CLV for short. It's simply the percentage difference on where the line is on a bet when the game starts compared to where it was when you took it. And sportsbooks genuinely hate bettors who consistently get closing line value because it means they're going to win long term. Think of it like this. Let's say you own a card shop and a customer comes in looking to buy. You sell them a baseball card for $100 thinking it's a fair deal. Actually, a slightly favorable deal for you. Now imagine this customer coming in day after day and buying up cards that you mistakenly undervalued, and every day he walks away with a deal while you get shafted. So now not only are you pissed that they know more about the value of these cards than you do, but it's bad for your bottom line. Now, it's not the customer's fault either. They just know more than you. So when I bet the over on 9.5 points for Dante DiVincenzo at -125, then DraftKings later moves those odds to -200, that was objectively good for me and bad for them. Now, DiVincenzo could score 2 points or 20 points, and it no longer makes a single difference to the books because all that matters is the price that you took it at. See, I could bet that at -125 and you could take it at -200. And whether it wins or loses, the books are looking at me as a problem and you as a solution. But none of this is to say that you should be scared to keep betting or that you'll never profit so long as the books continue to operate like this. It's quite the opposite, really, because now you know the game that they're playing and now you can play it too. But how do you consistently get closing line value? The answer is you need to be placing plus EV or positive expected value bets. EV is the measure of how much you can expect to win or lose per bet on average if you place that same bet many times. So take a look at this Josh Hart assist prop. It's a 4% EV bet because you can get it at +124 on DraftKings, but the true odds are +115. And all that means is that the chances of this bet actually winning are higher than the odds DraftKings is letting us bet it at. And if you're consistently identifying plus EV bets, you're naturally going to get closing line value on these, and then you're going to win long term. And it may seem complicated at first, but you're really just exploiting mispriced odds across all of these books and betting them before they have time to correct them. It's the same thing as the guy bending that poor card shop owner over a barrel every day. Now, I use a tool called Portfolio EV for this because I don't have to do any of the EV calculations on my own. It just does all of that for me by using sharper sportsbooks than the ones we're betting on to identify the true odds on every bet and then feeds hundreds of them straight to my phone through the app every day. And then I can track all of my closing line value to make sure the bets are moving in the direction I need them to. Because if you're not getting closing line value, it means the books think that they priced this bet correctly and they have zero interest in moving off that number. It's called a top-down or market-based approach, where you're allowing the market to dictate where you're betting each day by simply finding discrepancies across all of the sports books. And if you ever want to check it out for yourself, get 75% off your first month with code CLV75 with that link in the description. If you have no understanding of probabilities, it means you're just randomly firing bets without being cognizant of the price. And you honestly may think that you have an excellent read on a player or a team, but if you don't pay attention to price, how do you know the books haven't already factored all of that in? Just because you like a player to have a good game doesn't mean the line itself is favorable to you. These books know as much, if not more than we do 99% of the time, which is why the price that you're betting something at is more important than the bet itself. And even worse, a lot of times you'll see somebody take a bet at a number that was significantly better, even hours before that, because they love a player or they love a team, but they have no idea how to identify value. I see it all the time on social media where somebody puts a free play out on, say, FanDuel, and they get a response in the comments that says, hey, I don't have FanDuel, but I got it on Hard Rock. Thanks. Well, let's say that the play they gave out was over 67.5 receiving yards on A.J. Brown at minus 110 on FanDuel, specifically because of that price. But now this person in the comments is betting it on Hard Rock where it's only available at minus 170. How do you think that's going to end up for them? And I promise you, you don't need to be a statistician to understand this. Let's say you're the one betting it at minus 110 and that random person in the comments is getting it at minus 170. And let's say you both took that exact same bet 100 times and it won 60% of the time. You would have crushed on FanDuel with that minus 110 line because you only would have needed to win that bet a little more than 52% of the time to break even. And they would have gotten destroyed on Hard Rock because just to break even, they would have needed to win that same bet 63% of the time. So don't ever feel like you have to make a bet if the number isn't right. You could love a team or a player, but if everybody else loves them too, you best believe the books are well aware of this. And you may not see it reflected in your bankroll immediately, but over time, that bad habit of simply taking any number that's available is going to bleed you dry. But here is the brutal truth about betting that most people won't tell you about. If you incorporate all of these principles, shopping the odds, getting closing line value, placing plus EV bets, you're going to be a profitable sports bettor. And then the books are going to limit your wager size so you stop taking their money. They'll stop offering bonus bets, they'll cut off your promotions, and that's simply their way of saying, all right, pal, you got us. That's enough. No more. But what's the alternative? Having them offer you the world while simultaneously running your pockets because they know you're an easy target? If you've learned nothing else from this video, remember one thing. If it seems too good to be true in sports betting, it is. Nobody gets free stuff from the books unless their own losses have already paid for it in spades. So next time you get offered a healthy bonus bet and think, man, I'm running good today, remember, it's not complimentary. You've already paid 20 times what it's worth. So I don't know about you, but I'd much rather win and get limited than have the books pouring me glasses of champagne every time I walk through their doors.